Let's talk about inflation, what it's costing you, and ways to still save money even with the rising prices. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Debbie and I am a money coach. And today I want to talk about a topic that you're probably hearing all the time in the news and online, and that's inflation. So first of all, let's talk about what inflation actually is. And I know that some people might be confused because you hear one percentage rate one month and another percentage rate another month. So the rate of inflation, the way that they calculate it, is how much everything is rising in price from this calendar month to the calendar month of prior year. So for example, May of 2021 through last month, you would have heard that inflation was averaging at 7%. Now in June, they're saying that it's actually 8.6. But that doesn't mean that everything has gone up 8.6%. That's just an average that they're looking at. But for example, the three topics I want to talk to you about today, of course, you know I'm going to talk about groceries, gas for your car, and utilities, because those are the three areas that I'm feeling it the most and my clients are feeling it the most. So I want to talk about it. So let's start with my favorite, groceries. I talk about groceries all the time on this channel, you guys know. So groceries, they're saying that the cost of milk, eggs, fish, chicken, and meat has gone up. Just those categories alone in groceries has gone up 14%. They're saying that the average cost of groceries has gone up in a whole by 20%. And honestly, that's what I'm seeing. Now, you guys probably know my story, but just in case, if I have any new viewers. Before, I was in $48,000 of credit card debt many years ago, and I wasn't budgeting. I was spending between $280 and $290 a week. I always feel like I have to say it twice. On groceries to feed my family of 5. Once I started meal planning, which is such an important tool to use to keep your groceries as low as possible. Once I started meal planning, within a few weeks, I got that $280 and $290 down to $180. And that saved my family over $5,000 that year, which paid off our first credit card. Just in groceries alone. That's why I am so passionate to talk about meal planning. I talk about meal planning so much that I have an entire playlist of meal planning tips that I will link at the end. But now my 180 is no longer 180 because of the rate of inflation. I'm definitely feeling it. That 20%, you betcha. So my 180, I've had to bump it up to 225. And when I say my 180 is now 225, I mean it. Not one extra item in groceries have I purchased yet. Because of inflation, my grocery prices have gone up by $45 every week. Now, some people, when they hear $45, some people will be like, wow, that's a lot of money. Some people will be like, Debbie, that's not that much money. To me, it matters. To me, everything matters because since I help people with their budgets, it's my business, it's my passion. I budget myself and I know my numbers backwards and forwards. So because of that, I can tell you that every little bit adds up to a lot. $45 a week is $2,340 at the end of the year. And that's without adding one item extra in my groceries, simply because of inflation. So meal planning, again, is such a great tool, but it's also so important for you to know where your money is going. It's so important for you to have a budget. And I'm going to cover that a little bit later on. But let's talk about gas prices. Gas prices is a little tricky. We're all feeling it. But when you hear gas prices are soaring and it's gone from this to this, I want you to just keep something in mind. Again, inflation is from this calendar month through the calendar month of last year. So this June to last June, right? Now, remember where we were last year, especially when it came to gas prices. Because so many people were forced to work from home, not many people were driving. And because there wasn't many people driving, the gas stations and the oil companies, they had to reduce the price of gas in order to pretty much end up making a profit at all, right? Because when you have excess of something, but you don't have the demand for it, you're gonna have to lower the price, which is what they did. Last year, gas prices were an all-time low of an average of $3.97. January of this year, it was up to $4.60. And now the average is $4.95. When you hear $3.97 and $4.95, you're like, oh my gosh, it went up almost $1. But take it into perspective. Last year was an exception. I have not seen prices that low last year on gas since I started driving. Honestly, they were so low. And now, of course, we're gonna feel it. We're gonna feel it so much. It's kind of like over here in New Jersey, there's the Garden State Parkway. It's a highway. And the parkway used to be 50 cents to pay the toll. And now it's at, I believe, $1.50. They're saying it's gonna be $2 if it's not $2 already, because I haven't driven there in a little bit. But when it first went up to $2, people were like, I'm gonna take this other highway that makes me go all the way around because I refuse to pay the $2. Meanwhile, you're wasting more in gas. But I'm talking about like sticker shock, right? So going from such a low to now such a high, everyone's feeling it so much. But when you really take it into perspective, it's gone up less than 40 cents from January to now. They're saying it's gonna go up even higher. Because gas prices are up so high, that's like a domino effect on so many levels, on so many things in our budget. It's like literally like a domino effect, right? Because the supermarket can't get everything in stock because they pay for gas for their trucks. So that means that our groceries are gonna go up a little bit more because of that, because they have to pay the gas prices. It's a trickle effect. But again, meal planning can help you save money on groceries. And I'm gonna share tips next week on how you can save money on gas, because again, everything adds up. And if you do it in a smart way and you decide when you're gonna fill up the tank and how, it can save you money. And to fill up my SUV, because I have the family car, because again, we're a family of 5. It used to be because I would drive it down to like 2 miles left in the gallon and the gas tank. And I know my husband's like, if he's listening right now, he's like, you know, I don't like it when you do that. It's bad for the car. And he's totally right. It's just a bad habit of mine. So because I had it down to almost nothing, I know that back in January, it would cost me $55 to fill up my tank. Now it's at $100, which again, what is it with the $45, right? So let's say that I was filling up my tank once a week. And now instead of paying $55, I'm paying $100, $45 difference. $45 difference a week adds up to, yet again, $2,340. So without adding an extra trip to my commute, by filling up my tank once a week, I am having to pay extra $2,340. Without buying one extra ingredient in my grocery list, it was $2,340. So right there, I am at an extra $4,620. That's inflation. That's why it's so important to know exactly where your money's going, why it's so important to have a budget. Now, let's talk about utilities. When it comes to utilities and service providers, I have 2 videos on my channel. One where with 4 phone calls, I saved my family over $1,000 by negotiating down my service providers without changing my service. That's key. And recently, I shared a second video on how 3 phone calls saved my family over $700. So again, there are ways to negotiate your bills lower. And there are things that you can do to save money on utilities. I have clients that in January reached out to me as we're starting to come up with their budget, and they said, you're not gonna believe this, but one of them, her natural gas bill doubled. And luckily it's a quarterly bill where she's at. But still, to double your bill for doing absolutely nothing extra. Another client of mine, her electricity bill went up over $40 each month. Again, nothing extra. I have seen it in my alarm bill, my cable, my internet. So many of our bills have gone up. So that's why it's so important to take control of it, get empowered about it, call up your service providers and ask them to work with you. And if you want the script and how I did it, I'm gonna link those videos at the end. A common question that I get is, Debbie, I make a good living, yet I'm still living paycheck to paycheck. Why? That's because they don't have a budget. Those are the people that I feel are gonna get affected by inflation the most. When people hear budgets, they think restriction, they think stress, anxiety, fear about money, feeling like they don't have enough. But I wanna offer you something to think about. When you don't have a budget, and I don't mean a restrictive budget, I mean a flexible budget, something that takes your lifestyle into consideration, something that you can enjoy and still be able to manage money, pay off debt, and enjoy life. Still go on dates, still have massages. My clients play golf. Like, they are making it happen and still enjoying life. So I'm not speaking about restriction, but when you don't have a budget and you don't know where your money goes, what happens there is you don't know if you are living above your means. And when you're living above your means, what that means is that you are actually going into debt each and every month because you don't make enough to pay for all of your spending. Notice I said not your bills, spending, because you don't have an eye on your money. It's so important now more than ever because inflation, unfortunately, is just going to continue. The rates are going to continue to increase. The prices right now are going to continue to go up. So if you don't have an eye on your money now, when are you going to start? It's so important to start now. I have a free budget printable that shows you how to save money, how to come up with your initial budget, and how to organize your debt so that you can start paying it off and still save money. And if you'd like a copy of that, the link is down below. But if you know that a budget printable is not enough and you're ready to work with me, I promise you, I'm gonna help you take the stress and anxiety and negativity that you have about money, and I'm gonna get you excited with each and every paycheck. And we're gonna come up with a flexible budget that takes your lifestyle into consideration so that you never feel restricted, so that it works. A budget without restrictions works. We'll come up with a plan to eliminate your debt and save you even more money along the way. So if you're interested in speaking with me, my calendar link is down below. Feel free to click it and schedule a free 30-minute call. I hope that you guys found this video helpful, and I really hope you take into consideration how important it is to get started managing your money now. And the videos that I referenced are right here. If you like this video, please click the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe and to click on that bell. And next week, we're going to talk about saving money at the gas station. Talk to you soon. Bye.